Okay, so here's how we would go about solving the board work that we've got. We're looking at adding integers, positive and negative. We're looking at simplifying fractions. We're looking at adding the mixed numbers and also subtracting mixed numbers and then solving for an equation. So let's first look at what we gave out yesterday. So 9 plus 5 plus 7. This part's easy. You can use your calculator, you can use your fingers. 9 plus 5 is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, using my fingers. So 9 plus 5 is 14. Then if I add 7, I get 21. This you can just punch into a calculator. Okay? The next one, negative 6 plus negative 4 plus 3. Okay? So remember, negative signs always stick to the number, to the integer to the right of them. Okay? So this negative sign goes with the 6. This negative sign goes with the 4. And so when we're adding a negative number, it's really almost kind of like we're just subtracting, okay? Because let's pretend like if this negative sign wasn't here and this was a positive 6, we'd really have 6 plus negative 4 would really just be 6 minus 4, okay? But let's look at this. So what I want to do for this is draw a number line. So I'm going to draw a number line. Let's make this 0. So negative 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, negative 8, negative 9, negative 10, okay? So, and if my numbers are bigger than 10, then I need to draw a bigger number line or get like a page that's just one big long number line. So I'm going to start here, negative 6, right? So that means I'm right here, negative 6. And if I'm adding negative 4, which direction am I going to go? To the left. So I'm going to count, starting at negative 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? So now I'm at negative 10. So negative 6 plus negative 4 is negative 10. Now I'm going to add a positive 3. It says it's positive, which direction am I going to go? That's right, to the right. So starting here, 1, 2, 3. So my answer is negative 7. Okay? So let's look at the next problem we have to do. Since I've got my number line already, the rest should be simple. 1 plus negative 7 plus 9, okay? So again, I'm starting at positive 1, so I'm to the right of the 0, positive 1, and I'm going to add a negative 7. Since I'm adding a negative 7, which direction am I going to go? To the left. So let's go to the left 7 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm at negative 6. Okay. Now I'm going to add 9, a positive 9. So I'm going to go to the right 9 spaces because it's positive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's 3. Okay. So that's my answer, equals 3. Now let's do 1 minus negative 7 plus 9, okay? So starting here at positive 1. Now, notice I've got 2 negative signs right next to each other. And remember, they're magnetic. This one's sticking to the 7, but this one wants to stick to this, which will make it a positive sign. So now I'm going to get rid of this negative sign because now this has just jumped over here and become a positive sign. So now I've got 1 plus 7, 1 plus positive 7. I'm going to start here, and since it's positive, I'm going to go to the right 7 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm at 8. Then I'm going to go to 9. 1, 2, and I'm going to the right positive, and my number line's not long enough. So in my head, I just know that 8 plus 9 is 17. Pretty easy when they're all positive numbers, okay? Let's look at the next one, simplifying the fractions. We've got 36 over 45. So I'm going to take my numerator, write it here, put the 2 legs underneath, take my denominator, put it here, 45, and put the 2 legs under, and I'm going to start factoring. What 2 numbers can I multiply by to get 36? There's a lot of them, but in my mind, the first 2 numbers that pop out are 6 and 6. I look up at prime numbers. Nope. 6 is not a prime number. So because they're not prime numbers, I'm going to put those legs underneath both of them because I'm going to keep factoring. And I'm going to say, what 2 numbers can I multiply by to get 6? I know it's 3 and 2. And since this is also 6, it's 3 and 2 as well here, okay? And now I look up and I know that 3 and 2 are both prime numbers. So I'm going to circle all. I'm only circling the prime numbers. Now let's look at 45, okay? So what 2 numbers can I multiply by to get 45? Well, first 2 numbers that jump into my head are 9 and 5, okay? 9 times 5 is 45. So any prime numbers here? Yes, I know 5 is prime, and I know 9 is not. So because 9's not, I'm going to put my legs under here. What 2 numbers can I multiply to get 9? That's right, 3 times 3. And 3 is a prime number. Oops. So I'm going to circle it. So I've got 5, 3, 3, and I've got 2, 3, 2, 3. Okay? So let's look at what numbers are common. I've got a 3 here and a 3 here. So I can cross out 1 3 here and 1 3 here. Now I look at the 2. There are no 2's over here, so I can't cross out any 2. I've got 1 more 3, and I have another 3 here that I haven't crossed out yet, so I can cross out those 2 3's. Okay? So, and now there's a 5 here, but no 5 here. So I've crossed out as much as I possibly can. So maybe what would be helpful, because I know this is where a lot of people get confused, I know that the only 2 numbers left under my numerator are 2 and 2. So I'm going to take 2 times 2, and that equals 4. So my 36, my numerator becomes a 4. So I'm going to write that here, 4 over. Now I want to look at what does my 45 become. Well, these 2 3's are crossed out, and the only thing that's left is a 5. So my denominator, the 45, becomes 5. So my answer now is 4/5. All right, let's do the next one, okay? 66 over 40, so over 90, my bad, over 90. Okay, so 66, 90. So this is 6 and 11. 11's prime. 6 is 3 and 2. Those are my 2 primes. 90, I've got 3 and 30. 3 is prime. 30, I've got 10 and 3. 3's prime. I've got 5 and 2. Just doing this real fast here so you can kind of see. Now I factored them all down to my prime numbers. Now I'm going to start crossing out any common ones, okay? So I've got a 3 here, and I got a 3 here. Doesn't matter which 3 I cross out, but I only can cross out 1 because I only have 1 3 here. So I'm going to cross out this 3. I'm going to choose to cross out that 3. Now I'm looking at this 2. Oh, yep, I do have 1 2 here, so I can cross out 1 2 and then a 2 here. Now all that I have left here is 11. There's no 11 here. And so I am done crossing out. I can't cross out anymore. So my 66 becomes 11. So my numerator is 11. And under the 90, I have a 5, and I have a 3 left. So I'm going to multiply 5 times 3 equals 15. So simplifying, 66 90ths becomes 11/15, okay? So now let's go ahead and look at the next part that we're looking to do. We've got 2 1/4 plus 7 2/10, okay? You can grab the graphic organizer if you want, because that kind of helps. I don't have it here right now, so I just know the very first thing I need to do is find the least common denominator. So my two denominators are 4 and 10. So I'm going to write a 4 here. I'm going to write a 10 here. And I'm going to start writing multiples, okay? So 4, 8, 16. You can use a calculator if you want, 20. And now I'm going to try with the 10. So I got 10, 20. Oh, look, here's my least common denominator. So, and some people might just multiply the 10 by the 4. They would have gotten 40, but now you've got to simplify at the end. If you find the least common denominator, you don't have to simplify at the end, okay? So we've got 20 is my least common denominator. So I'm going to write a 20 here. And now I want to convert these two fractions, okay? These are whole numbers, 2 and 7. I can just add these right now, okay? So 2 plus 7 equals 9. And then I'm going to wait because I need to figure out what my numerator is going to be and what my denominator is going to be. And that's what I'm figuring here. So I'm going to write this fraction over here, 1/4, because I need to convert my fractions. The second fraction is 2/10. So I'm going to write a 2/10 right here. Now I'm going to write my multiplication dots. And I'm going to say, all right, what do I have to multiply 4 by to get 20? It's 5. So I'm going to write 5 and 5 here. And now another way, if you can't figure out, well, what can I multiply 4 by to get 20? I don't know. You could just take 20 and divide it by 4 and you'd get 5, okay? So now I come over here. What can I multiply 10 by to get 20? It's 2. And again, if you couldn't figure that out in your head, just take 20, divide it by 10, and you'll get 2. Then you write that here and here. Now, I'm going to do the math. 5 times 1 is 5. And 4 times 5 is 20. So that's what this fraction becomes. And now we're going to do the math here. 2 times 2 is 4. And 10 times 2 is 20. And that's what this fraction becomes. So now I remember that I'm adding them. So I'm going to rewrite the thing as a 5/20 plus 4/20. Now I have a common denominator and I can add. So 5 plus 4 is 9. And my denominator stays 20. So I now have 9 and 9/20 is the answer, okay? See if you can do that with the other problems. For time's sake, I'm not going to add the second one. Okay, so let's look at this next one here, okay? So we've got x minus 23 over 27 equals -2. Okay? So what two operations are happening to the x? We've got division. That's what is happening. It's being divided by the 27. And then subtraction, because x is having 23 subtracted from it. So let's address the division first, okay? So the inverse operation of addition is multiplication. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply 27 by both sides. Okay? So this makes it so that these become 1. And the 1 is invisible when here. And so then we've got -2 multiplied by 27. So that becomes -54. Okay, so let's rewrite everything and of what we've got left. So here we've got x minus 23 over 1, and we don't have to write the 1, so we can just write x minus 23 equals negative 54. Now, what are we going to do to get rid of this? Well, we've got a negative 23. We need to make it 0, so we're going to add 23, and we got to do it to both sides. Okay, so negative 54. If you have a number line, you can do it that way. However, what we know is that we're going to go ahead and the bigger number, we're got a plus and a minus, so we know we're going to subtract. So let's subtract. 4 minus 3 is 1. 5 minus 2 is 3. And since the largest number was negative, my answer is going to be negative as well. So that means that x equals negative 31. Let's see if that's correct. So we're going to go back now, and let's use blue now. We're going to cross out x and put negative 31 and do our problem. So let's take a look here, okay? We've got negative 31 minus 23, which gives us negative 54. And if you divide negative 54 by 27, you get negative 2. So that means this is the correct answer, okay? Ask the teacher if you have any questions, and good luck.